Parshas Emor, Lila Nishmas, all of our Elterin, and Achin Kaves Yisrael, Hanason, Hanasum, Besor, Shivya, should have Yeshua B'Doila B'Mheira. We started seeing Pirkei Avos a few weeks ago, right after Pesach. In the first parak, the third Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, a rather famous, all the Mishnayos in Pirkei Avos are famous, but this one is famous in that it seems almost unattainable. Antignos ish socho kibbutz Shimon hatzadik. They had all the pairs of the Messiah, the beginning of Pirkei Avos. Very great people we have no concept of. Tanoim, highly good Tanoim. Hu yomer al tiyu kavoda hamishamshim es harav amanas lekabel pras. Eloyu kavoda hamishamshim es harav shalom amanas lekabel pras. Yimor shmayim aleichem. We should serve just like a servant who doesn't want to get a reward or a payment. We should serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu that way, and not like one who's expecting to have a reward. Sounds good, but unattainable. What kind of avoda could that be? Interesting story to tell you about the Baal Shem himself. Baal Shem Tov was attempting to raise funds. This is from Rav Irving Bunam's Pirkei Avos Sefer, which is called Ethics from Sinai. It's a classic. I don't know if it's still available these days, but I refer to it oftentimes because his wisdom is everlasting. Story is told about Shem Tov attempting to raise funds in the town in order to construct a much-needed mikveh. Got a very poor response. That hasn't changed. In desperation, the Baal Shem approached one of the town's wealthy people and promised him his own share in Olam Haba if the man would but contribute the necessary sum. The rich man approved the deal and agreed to give the contribution on one condition, that I get it in writing. When it was all over, the Hasidim who had witnessed this affair turned to their master in wonderment and asked how could he forfeit his share in the world to come, a reward for which he had worked a lifetime? The answer of the Baal Shem Tov was threefold. First, the Masorah tells us whatever we give away in tzedakah, Hashem pays us back 10 times. Why then, instead of forfeiting my share in Olam Haba, I've really invested in it with every expectation of regaining that and much more. 2, life in Olam Haba would benefit me personally. A mikveh will keep an entire city pure and kadosh, tahar and kadosh. Surely the welfare of the many stands higher than the benefit of the one, even if that one is myself. Third, I have not worked in this life to win life in Olam Haba. I have only sought to perform mitzvos for the sake of the mitzvah themselves, for no other reason. The Parshas Emor, has all of the details about Emor al-Kohanim, all of the halachos of the Kohen, regular Kohen, Kohen Hedjot, Kohen Gadol. What is the sum total? What does the pasuk tell us that is the result of all of these halachos of the Kohanim? Kedoshim yiyu is pasuk vav perak chafal pasuk vav. Kedoshim yiyu le'elokehem lo yechalalu shem elokehem. It's an interesting mitzvah. It's an aseh and a los aseh. The pasuk gives the psukim give us specific instructions for the Kohanim: A, to give them a level of kedusha, and B, to inspire them to prevent the chilul Hashem. The two necessarily don't go together, you know. We've talked about that before. A person can very easily, how well we know, do chilul Hashem, even if he's striving towards kedusha. Ron Kotler Zatzal said that just as the Kohanim represent Klal Yisrael in their avodah, so too each and every one of us, particularly the Talmidei Chachamim, but as is pointed out by many people, including the Chafetz Chaim, that today any from Yid represents all of Klal Yisrael. Therefore, we have to stand on a higher level and moral standard than even though all those around us. The son of the Alta of Slobodka got a dowry for his wedding. He gave away all of it to buy food for the people who were starving when the First World War broke out. Not only that, he was told that he could make a lot of money by that food. He could sell it, make a big profit. He said, no. He gave it away. He gave a few free to Rabban Matamidi Chachamim. He gave away every single penny he had to Almanos and to Yisraelim. He even gave away his own Yontiv Begadim. We cannot possibly hope to achieve such a level of Mesiras Nefesh and Gitzkeit. But what we can learn from him is that we can do more than we think we can do. And in fact, if we take a minute to tell ourselves, am I serving Hashem or am I serving myself? When we do our mitzvahs, it's a very, very important concept to divorce ourselves from our rote and from our striving for improvement and schar from haba, and say, what am I doing? Am I serving Hashem or am I serving myself? Ideally, let us all serve Hashem and be successful in it. Haslach Rabbah, and Good Shabbos.